Across the African savanna, once a lion closes the distance, most prey are already at a disadvantage. The lion's strength lies not only in the decisive moment, but in how the pride tightens its formation into a coordinated surround. Yet the grassland has never belonged to a single ruler, as rivals continue to stand their ground. Amid this relentless pressure of survival, what allows the lion to hold its place at the top of the savanna On the Serengeti, wildebeest move like a living current stretching for dozens of miles. An adult weighs around 500 pounds and can reach speeds near 50 miles per hour, faster than a lion in open ground. Their advantage lies in numbers, as curved horns, hooves, and dense bodies form a defensive mass that is difficult to break. Once separated from the herd, that shield disappears. Lions understand their limits. With speeds of about 35 miles per hour, long chases quickly drain energy. So they do not rush in blindly, they wait. When the herd is forced to cross a river, some lions hide along the banks, while others guide movement toward shallow crossings. Amid dust, pounding hooves, and churning water, a young individual slips from the group. The encounter is decided before the dust settles. Not every target is small or isolated. At times, a full-grown adult stands its ground with the strength to defend itself. When pushed into isolation, it turns its horns toward the threat, searching for an opening to break away. The lions shift positions, closing off each direction until others circle in. The pursuit ends, yielding over 250,000 calories, enough to sustain the pride for several days. For wildebeest, survival is tied to the herd. Yet on the savanna, not every species relies on numbers alone. On the dry, sun-scorched grasslands of Africa, a rhinoceros stands like a living fortress weighing over 4,000 pounds. Its skin, nearly 2 inches thick in some areas, and a horn always pointed forward, make it extremely difficult to overpower as an adult. Yet its limitation lies in its vision, as poor eyesight forces it to rely on sound, scent, and instinct. During the dry season, water recedes from shallow plains, drawing all species toward a final muddy watering hole. The lions do not rush in noisily. They circle with the wind, keep their distance, and wait for the weakest moment. When a lone rhino turns just a fraction too slowly, pressure builds instantly at the water's edge. But a single instinctive horn swing is enough to disrupt the formation, forcing the predators to pull back beyond the danger zone. The real risk emerges only when a calf drifts away from its mother's shadow. A few misplaced steps can turn it into a target that lions rarely ignore. Even so, such hunts remain uncommon, because the moment the mother returns, the balance of power shifts immediately. On the savanna, victory does not belong to the strongest, but to the one who chooses the right distance and the right moment. If the lion is seen as the ruler of the savanna, the Nile crocodile stands as the dominant force of the water. On land, the lion applies pressure through muscle, presence, and coordinated group dynamics. At the river's edge, the crocodile needs only to stay low, letting the water conceal its movement. At nearly 16 feet in length and covered in armor-like scales, it controls the boundary between land and water. Tension rises when these two apex forces meet along the riverbank. A large food source from a hippo draws the lions closer, while also triggering the crocodile's instinct to hold its ground. Here, the strength of the big cat must contend with a bite force recorded at around 3,700 pounds per square inch in large crocodiles. The moment a crocodile moves forward, the male lion understands that one step further could lead into danger. The balance shifts when a crocodile remains exposed too far from the water. The lions spread out, cutting off its path back and turning dry ground into their advantage. One lead lion holds its position near the front, while others apply pressure from both sides, limiting the crocodile's movement. The crocodile responds with rapid jaw snaps, forcing brief retreats before the lions close in again. This encirclement is not about a single decisive move, but about timing and coordination. As the path back to water narrows, the crocodile gradually loses the advantage it once held. In the harsh season, the pride turns a positional misstep into an opportunity for survival. In nature, power can shift with a single step at the edge of the boundary. Lions and spotted hyenas have long been seen as enduring rivals of the savanna. They compete not only for food, but also for space and the ability to sustain their groups. On the Serengeti, each encounter often begins with alert calls at dusk. Sharp vocal signals rise as hyenas gather around a food source held by lionesses. A mature individual weighs close to 190 pounds, with a bite force of about 1,100 pounds per square inch, yet their strength lies in numbers. Around 30 individuals move in, pressing forward, then spreading out to force the lionesses to adjust their defense. Tension builds as a male lion appears from the edge of the brush. Just a few strides of acceleration are enough to slow the pressure. A decisive advance disrupts the hyena's formation, breaking their coordination. The hyenas withdraw, yielding space to the side that controls the moment. On this landscape, no advantage is permanent. Survival favors those that remain composed, read the timing correctly, and step back when needed. This contest repeats across the seasons, a reminder that the savanna grants power to no single species. In southern Africa, African wild dogs stand out as strategic hunters of the savanna. Weighing only around 70 pounds, they are known for speed, endurance, and coordinated pack behavior. Many sources cite a hunting success rate near 80%. Though field studies show this varies with environment and prey. After long miles of pursuit, their energy drops and lactic acid builds in the muscles, slowing reactions just as the pack secures its reward. Lions see wild dogs as direct competitors for food, often confronting or driving them off when they come too close to their range. Sensing the moment when the pack is fatigued after a long chase, lionesses quietly track from the edges of sparse brush. They keep their distance, watching as the dog's formation begins to loosen around a recently taken antelope. A single sudden burst of speed can disrupt the structure, forcing the pack to abandon the prize to preserve their numbers. As the safe distance narrows, the physical advantage shifts clearly toward the lions. With body weight several times greater and stronger jaws, they apply pressure that isolates any slower individual. The wild dogs retreat, calling out warnings or waiting for a chance to reclaim what remains. On the savanna, victory does not always belong to the most efficient hunter, but to the one that arrives when the opponent is at its weakest. The African buffalo has long been seen as a formidable stronghold of the wild plains. Weighing around 1,500 pounds, each step places immense pressure on any threat nearby. When they hold a tight formation, their shield-like horns combine into a living barrier that is nearly impossible to break. For lions, a direct approach against such unity is always a high-risk choice. The turning point appears only when herd order is disrupted by a moment of distraction. An older, weaker individual falls behind and becomes the immediate focus of shapes hidden in tall grass. Lionesses accelerate to around 35 miles per hour, quickly closing in to cut off any path back to the group. The situation grows more chaotic as the distance from the herd increases. The buffalo responds with powerful turns and loud calls that echo across the plain. If a few strong individuals return in time, they can pull their companion back from danger. But if the herd continues forward, the isolated individual must face the pressure alone. This is the harsh rhythm of the savanna. where herd discipline determines survival. The grizzly bear charges straight through the dust, throwing its prey off balance from the very first moment. Every heavy stride sends vibrations through the ground, signaling an unstoppable display of dominance. In the wild, the grizzly bear relies on sheer size, instinct, and remarkable endurance. Could the grizzly bear truly be the most formidable solitary warrior in the wilderness? With a weight of around 800 pounds, the grizzly bear is one of North America's most powerful animals. Its massive shoulder muscles provide remarkable bursts of strength. A thick coat covering its body helps it withstand harsh cold and adapt to changing conditions. Its 4-inch claws are highly effective tools for digging and foraging. From hunting to winter hibernation, the grizzly bear adjusts its rhythm of life with remarkable flexibility. The grizzly bear's life is a remarkable journey of survival and extraordinary adaptation. During summer, when rivers swell, it becomes a master of catching salmon in rushing rapids. The bear stands perfectly still, watching salmon fight their way upstream as if reading the rhythm of the current. The moment a salmon bursts from the water, its powerful forepaws seize the opportunity with astonishing precision. This rich source of protein allows the grizzly to build fat reserves, totaling dozens of pounds in preparation for winter. When winter arrives and snow blankets the landscape, the intense pace of summer gradually fades. The grizzly enters hibernation to conserve energy, although it does not remain in a deep sleep throughout the season. It settles into a sheltered den, lining it with dry leaves or branches, while its heart rate drops from about 50 beats per minute to roughly 10. One of its most remarkable adaptations is the ability to recycle waste into protein, allowing it to maintain muscle without eating, drinking, or remaining active. This continuous cycle has helped make the grizzly one of North America's dominant animals, with its greatest strength rooted not only in power, but also in the extraordinary art of adaptation. If the grizzly bear is regarded as the ruler of North America, the wolf stands as the ultimate symbol of teamwork and collective intelligence. Weighing around 130 pounds, the wolf combines remarkable endurance with exceptional discipline. When hunting, it does not rely on individual strength, but operates as a unified pack, with every member understanding its role. When food becomes scarce, a grizzly may claim a food source, and a battle of strategy begins deep in the forest. The wolf pack forms a wide arc, attempting to draw the bear away from its valuable meal. In response, the grizzly turns continuously, standing like a living fortress against every challenge. As the wolves recognize the bear's determination, they often choose to withdraw and preserve the pack's strength. In other situations, after a wolf pack secures a large food source, a grizzly follows its powerful sense of smell to the scene. The wolves surround the bear, baring their teeth in warning as they try to protect the reward earned through teamwork. Yet when facing a calm and nearly unyielding grizzly, the pack's intelligence often gives way to overwhelming strength. In most of these encounters, the grizzly claims victory in more than 80% of food disputes. In the natural world, strategy may create opportunity, but resilience often determines who remains in the end. When spring returns to North America, melting snow and ice awaken the grizzly bear from its winter hibernation. Hunger drives it to begin a relentless search for energy. Across the awakening valleys, herds of elk become one of its most important seasonal targets. The elk is one of the largest members of the deer family, an iconic symbol of the North American wilderness. A mature bull carries antlers stretching more than 5 feet wide, like a crown of strength and dominance. Against a powerful animal that combines speed with size, the grizzly bear cannot rely on brute force alone. It must adapt its strategy to every opportunity. With a sense of smell about 7 times more sensitive than that of a bloodhound, the grizzly follows a scent trail to dense brush where an elk calf has just been born. At this stage, the newborn has very little ability to defend itself and can be quickly overpowered. When danger appears, the cow elk steps forward, using powerful hooves to protect its calf and keep the threat at a distance. Yet a single moment of hesitation can quickly shift the balance of the encounter. To escape, the elk charges into a fast-moving river. The grizzly, however, is an exceptional swimmer, capable of staying close through the icy current. Even as the elk uses its antlers to defend itself, the grizzly's bite force of about 1,200 pounds per square inch allows it to gain control of the situation. When the encounter comes to an end, the grizzly drags its food source onto the riverbank and buries it beneath the mud for later use. This behavior reflects the grizzly bear's remarkable intelligence, proving that in the natural world, survival always comes before compassion. Across the North American wilderness, the encounter between the grizzly bear and the moose unfolds as a dramatic test of survival. In a mist-covered valley, the moose stands like a living fortress in the cold forest. A mature bull weighs more than 1,000 pounds, with every step carrying tremendous power through dense brush and rushing water. After a harsh winter, weakened moose are often found resting in open clearings. This is when the grizzly appears, watching with the patience of an opportunistic predator. It waits until the animal is at its greatest disadvantage before making its move, conserving as much energy as possible. The situation changes completely when a mother moose is protecting her calf. Her instinct to defend her young is triggered without hesitation. She charges forward with remarkable determination, using her powerful hooves to force the threat to keep its distance. Recognizing the moose's overwhelming size and unwavering resolve, the grizzly wisely backs away. The encounter becomes a powerful reminder of balance and mutual respect in the natural world. Every animal is doing everything it can to survive in an unforgiving wilderness. Within the animal kingdom, the grizzly bear does far more than hunt or confront other predators. To remain one of North America's dominant animals, it must also overcome challenges from its own kind. These encounters are driven by the pressures of survival, competition for resources, and reproductive strategy. In Alaska, early summer marks the grizzly bear's mating season. During this time, adult males actively search for a very specific target: newly born cubs. Their purpose is driven not only by hunger, but also by a biological strategy that shortens the mother's period of caring for her cubs, allowing her to become ready for the next breeding season. Recognizing the threat, the mother bear establishes a defensive boundary, shielding her cubs while delivering clear warning displays. Even against a rival nearly twice her size, maternal instinct often causes the intruder to reconsider and back away. As autumn arrives, competition shifts to securing energy before hibernation. To build the fat reserves needed for winter, an experienced male attempts to take over a younger bear's fishing spot. The two giants clash in the rushing water, using powerful shoulder muscles and forceful swipes to pressure one another. In the end, the less dominant bear leaves the riverbank to conserve its strength. Across this wilderness, evolutionary pressure constantly tests every individual. That relentless challenge helps maintain nature's balance and shapes each new generation of the strongest grizzly bears. Deer are an important part of the grizzly bear's diet, providing the nutrients needed to maintain its strength. Yet reaching this valuable food source requires more than physical power. The grizzly also relies on the awareness of a master of the landscape. It understands that every hunt is a carefully calculated test of survival. When the hunt begins, the grizzly does not rush into a long, energy-draining chase. Instead, it patiently observes and gradually guides its target toward an old-growth forest filled with fallen trees. This strategy disrupts the deer's path and creates an opportunity to separate one animal from the herd. In the dense terrain, the deer's top speed of about 40 miles per hour is limited by fallen logs and natural obstacles. A single misstep is all the grizzly needs to close the distance with speed and precision. The encounter ends with the advantage belonging to the animal that understands the ground beneath it best. Every successful hunt provides vital energy while helping nature maintain the balance of the ecosystem. When everything grows quiet again, the forest returns to its timeless stillness. The dominance of these big cats comes from speed, experience, and coordinated pride dynamics. They know when to wait, how to read movement, and how to turn the smallest misstep into an advantage. In the wild, those that endure are not only strong, but able to adapt at the right moment. Viewers are encouraged to like and subscribe to continue exploring the hidden patterns of nature. Under the fading sunlight, large paw prints remain pressed deep into the dry earth.